Hi guys, it's Belle here and I'm coming on with my Yule tag, which is the final tag in the Wheel of the Year swap I have been doing with Tiff over at Amethyst Raven. Go check her out. I know many of you have subscribed to her, but if you haven't yet, please do go check her out. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Most of you will know I took some time off over Christmas and other things, and so this tag's going up very, very late, and I can only apologise to all of you who've been following and to Tiff, who's been super understanding. I opened Tiff tags before I've made this, so that video was filmed, that part of the video was filmed in plenty of time, but mine isn't. However, whilst Yule is far behind us and we are moving towards Imbolc in the Wheel of the Year, I still hope you enjoyed this make, guys. And as far as I'm concerned, whilst Yule itself is a festival of a time, it is part of winter, and we're still in winter, so hopefully you guys are still going to enjoy this. Now, I'm going to try and make something I've never made before. I've only watched a couple of very quick tutorials, and none of them are on a tag, so I don't know how this is going to go, and that will affect me being able to talk as well. So yay, really good idea here, Belle. So the first thing I'm going to do is, firstly, I'll explain to you what I'm making. I'm going to be making one of those magic colour slider card type things. Fingers crossed, we'll see. I really hope it works, but you know, if it doesn't, I've tried, and that in itself is important. And I am going to pull out some vintage music paper. This is actual vintage music paper, and it actually says, "As up the wood I took my way." As up the wood I took my way. Okay, so let us get started. What is Yule? Well, it is the last festival of the kind of Gregorian year, but obviously it is called the Wheel of the Year by pagans for a reason, because it continues to turn. But it is the last sort of pagan festival for the end of the Gregorian normal calendar year. It falls, depending, because each year it kind of changes, it falls around, I want to say, the 21st to about the 23rd of December. And it is the Winter Solstice, is what most of you will know it as. It is a very old tradition and practiced or mentioned in lots of different cultures, the sort of idea of something in winter being celebrated. And it is all about the fact that it is the shortest day of the year and the longest night of the year. In Irish, solstice is referred to as, let me get this right, because again, my Irish is still not perfect. I am still learning. But it is Grionstad, I think it is, Grionstad, which basically means sun stop. So it looks as if the sun has stopped, but it is the longest night of the year. Now, what that then means is, as from that point, the nights start to get shorter and the days start to get longer. So it is, whilst a winter festival, it is a reminder that even in the darkest time, even in the darkest night, the dawn does come. The light does head our way. And it is a reminder that after a long winter, especially for our ancestors, after a long, long winter of not being able to do much, spring and summer is coming. Now, I've got my usual tag, which is 6 by 3.5 inches. I haven't done my tag tops yet. There was a reason for that. I've cut a piece smaller than that, so it is about 5.25 inches high, but 3.5 wide again. But you can see I've added some flaps onto the bottom and the top. And what we now need to do is we need to cut out a piece in the middle. I had a little piece cut out to go in the centre because I need this to be my marker for where I am going to cut it out. Now, the winter solstice itself is about coming together at a time in the dark months, and that's what our ancestors would have done. They would have been kept inside because there's nothing they can do. I'm talking about in Ireland here, in the Northern Hemisphere. Obviously in the Southern Hemisphere it is different, but I will be talking about Ireland and the Northern Hemisphere because that is where I am. And they would have been inside. The ground is far too hard to do anything. It is too dark. Oh my goodness me. The animals would have all been inside too. I need to be super careful of that. Right, that's all right. I'll do something about that. And they would have spent a long winter hoping for the return of the sun and planning what to do then. Now, that is part of what you can do to sort of celebrate this time of year. You be with your loved ones. You spend time around a fire with good food. As you would have learnt by now, in Ireland, everything is to do with good food and fire. It's just what our ancestors did. I'm going to take a little bit of this paper. And you would be waiting for the rebirth of the sun, as in S-U-N. You're waiting for the sun to return and for life and light to once again return to the land, rather than sit in the darkness. If you have seen my review, my reading wrap up of December 2025, you will have heard me mention a book called Fear and the Last Snow Deer, and it's kind of all about the rebirth of the sun and the winter solstice. So that might be something you are interested in. It's a fiction book. But it's a good book, and it kind of gives you that vibes. So yes, it's the rebirth of the sun. It's the longest night of the year. They would have sat around the fire. It is a time for stories, guys. It is a time, actually, winter and Christmas in general, for ghost stories, but it is a time for stories. And you know, we Irish, we love a story. We love that, we do. So it is a time for all that. I know I need to let this dry, but I actually don't have time to do that. So we have got that. I'm going to have to stick something on here as well. I think I'll come in with some of the Tim Holtz tape. Always a solution. What is also really important about this time of year, especially now, it is a time for relaxation, a time for pause, a time to just really sit with what has happened and what is to come. I think that kind of is very different to the idea of a lot of people's Christmas now, because that tends to be a super busy time and everyone's running around and there's all these parties and there's this, that and the other. But if we are to learn anything from our ancestors, it is that this is a time for relaxation, cauldron time, if you like, a time to sit while the darkness and the cold are outside, and to just be at peace for a little while. And I think in today's society, that's something we don't do a lot of when we really should. I'm just trimming these down because although you're still not going to be able to see them, I'm just making sure you're not going to be able to see them. I really don't know a lot of what I'm doing here. Okay, that will not glue, but that's okay. So we've fixed that, and we've got that, and we're doing all that. Now, the next bit I need to do is I need to take a piece of card. Where is my piece of card? I literally had it because I cut some bits out. And now, honestly, for such a small table, how do I lose things? Okay, so this is the piece that I've got. It's a thinner piece of card. And it is going to be, when I do it, glued to the back of here. So I need it smaller because I need it really to be able to fit into here. Like so. So I need it not as wide as the 3.5. It is actually 3.25. And now I'm going to need to trim it as well, because I don't want it as high as the top here. Honestly, I am really just winging this, guys, because again, I've seen it done on cards, but I have not as of yet seen it done on a tag. So obviously, for a video where I have to talk, I've decided, yeah, this is what I'm going to do, because why would I not? I'm also going around the corners. I don't know if that's necessary, but I'm going to do that. So yeah, what we should be doing is, yes, spending time with family around a fire, sharing stories and things like that. I don't even know if I'm going to ink this. I will, just in case. I don't think you're going to see it, but it doesn't matter. And things like that. But it is a time, we're going to use this glue, for relaxation. You know, think on the plans that you have done. Think about the things that have happened in the year that has gone before you. Did you achieve your goals? Did you achieve your plans? What did you learn? What things can you carry with you? What things do you need to let go? It's not a time for action. You're not doing these things. You are literally thinking on the year. You're reflecting. You're taking time to rest your body, rest your mind. Let's remember that our ancestors would have been super, super, super busy all the time. So this is a time for them to really heal up, take stock, think, to do all that. I don't think this is going to work on here, but we're going to see. They're also going to be too wide. So I know you're probably looking, thinking, what are you doing, Belle? Right, well, let me see. So it's almost the opposite to a lot of what we do now. And if you really are honest with yourself and you listen to your body, you will feel your body want to be in tune with the season, that it will want to slow and be quieter. And in the colder months, what's more perfect than that? Sitting at home, making sure that we are sort of cozied up with a book or something like that, or a good movie, or family and friends, lots of little twinkling lights everywhere, all that kind of thing. I really want to tell you about the rest. I'm going to talk about some of the activities we do, because this, I don't want to be talking about the sort of historical Irish aspect whilst I'm trying to think. Do two things at the same time with brain fog. Who am I kidding? Do I want a little thing on there? I think I do. So what do I do? What do me and my family, or have we done over the years? Yule is one of the most important celebrations for us in our home. It is something that to this day we always celebrate. And it is for us kind of, I say the start of December is the start of festive season. But for us, as soon as Yule happens, that's basically like, oh, right, now festive season's here. Christmas time is here. Whatever you want to celebrate. And not everyone celebrates both. I do. And for me, the Yule is the start of that. And we eat good food, you know, always food. We have almost like a little mini Christmas dinner sort of thing. I make a special pie for the day, my Yule pie. So I always make that, and Yule is the only day of the year that I make that. I never make it at any other time to make it that much more special. We are together. When my kids were little, we would turn all the lights off, and well, not all the lights off, but most of the lights off, and then they would run around the house turning every single light on and welcoming the sun back, and it was a lot of noise and a lot of fun. And we would start Yule by, in the morning, getting up with the sunrise and watching it actually rise. I do that every Yule. The kids don't do it anymore, even if they're home, which they usually are. But they don't do it anymore. But I still get up with the sunrise and watch it rise on Yule. And we would often be outside, all in our dressing gowns, slippers, super, super cold, watching it rise and just welcoming it back. Welcoming the fact that the sun is coming back. The warmer weather is on its way. I also often make, usually make like a spiced apple drink, both for everyone to drink, but also to do a bit of wassailing with. Now, there's different traditions for wassail, and this is not actually particularly Irish. But one of the traditions is, obviously a lot of people think of it now as you go around houses and things. But what one of the traditions was, is that farmers would go into the orchard, if they had orchards, and they would go into the orchard and they would give thanks to the spirits of the trees for the harvest that had come that year. And they would give thanks and sort of pour something on the ground as an offering, in the hope that the next year's harvest would be, I really hope this works, just as good. And I do that as I have trees in my garden. I make this spiced apple drink. It literally is like apple juice and trying to think what else is in it, like different things in it, and I put fresh sort of oranges in there and cloves and spice and all that kind of thing. Heat it up. I think in America it would be very much like your warm cider, your that you have at sort of harvest time, and we can all drink that. And then I also take a batch and I go out and I pour it as a thankfulness and gratitude around my different trees. That is why many people say that my apple tree in particular is extremely sweet, even though the apples on it should not be. And I just give thanks, and I spend some moments out there doing that, thinking about what my garden has gifted me with that year, no matter what the harvest, because harvesting gardens, any of you who have gardens will know that some years are better than others, with especially with fruit trees and things. But I give thanks for all of that. So that is also something we do. So we do the lighting, we do, there's lights everywhere, good food, laughter, games, watch movies, form of storytelling, and all of that. And we also, so there is the tradition of the Yule log. And when I used to get real Christmas trees, we would keep part of the trunk of the Christmas tree, and that would be my Yule log, and I'd dry it out during the year, and then on Yule we would light it outside in the fire pit. Now realistically, the old theory was that you should light it and keep it alight, and if the Yule log went out at any point, that meant you were going to have a year of bad luck. Obviously, I don't do that because it's not very safe. But you can do that idea with a candle and a fake candle as well. Now that we don't have a real tree, we don't get to do that. But one of the other things that I always did when my kids were little was I would buy a chocolate Yule log, or I would make a chocolate Yule log. And that would also represent it. And I would put candles, usually golden candles, in the Yule log, enough for each person in the family. And then what would happen is that, I don't want marks on there, is that each person would blow out their candle and make a wish for the coming year. Nothing sort of too materialistic. It's not like, oh, I really hope I get this toy, or I really hope I get like a new car or something. It's more about what you wish to come to you in the new year, be that good health, or if there's an exam coming up that you would really hope that you succeed, or maybe you're looking for a new job. Whatever it is, it would be more along those lines. You're wishing for the new year, and then each person would blow out their candle and then eat your slice of Yule log. Right, we've got that. Now I need the next bit, and I think I'm going to bring this out. So the next bit we need to do, let me show you the stamp. I am using, it's called, what is it called? Does it have a name on here and I just can't see it? Birch. That's who it's by. And it's this great sun one here. And this is the number of it, LBCW007. Honestly, it's just Solus. This is just the sun stamp. And what I have done is I've stamped that in 2 places. I've stamped it on some card, and I've stamped it on a piece of packaging. These are going to match up. This is how our card's going to come together. I'm going to colour this one in whilst we are talking. And actually, I'm going to move on from the Yule log idea. And I'm going to talk to you now a little bit about Ireland and the ancient Irish, because now I'm colouring and I can do that. So, I'm no good at colouring. Please don't judge it, but we're going to give it a go. So, I want to talk to you about a place called Cianbru, which is a bad pronunciation, but it's basically this complex in Newgrange in County Meath. It is part of a complex of tombs across the area that are referred to as the Bend in the Boyne or something like that. And it is, this is very orange. I expected it to be more yellow. It is a very old prehistoric site. And by old, I mean old. I will leave some links down below and you can go and check it out. Basically, in Newgrange, County Meath, we have this giant thing, originally thought to be a tomb. Now it's thought by archaeologists to not just be a tomb, but maybe even some sort of temple or something. It was built around 3200 BC, which makes it over 5,000 years old, which makes it older than the pyramids of Giza and older than Stonehenge. It was built by prehistoric Irish tribes. Not much is known. It is strange. And when you actually see, I'll try and put a quick picture up here. If I don't, then please do check the links. When you actually see how big this is, to think that it was built by prehistoric maybe farmers is absolutely mind-blowing. Now, this is important, this place, because every year between sort of the 19th and the 23rd of December, around Yule, this building itself, this tomb, this mound, there is a passageway going into it, and there is a there's a roof box at the entrance. And on these dates around the solstice, the sun rises, and as it does so, the light from the sun goes through this roof box and perfectly moves down. I think it's like something silly, like a 60 or 60 foot long passage that then opens up into like a room. And as it goes down this kind of corridor into this kind of passage opening room, it lights the whole thing. It crawls down the passageway, the light, and then goes into this room and fills the whole room with light. It only lasts, I want to say under 20 minutes, but it happens each of those days for the solstice. So archaeologists do believe that this was built to do this, that this roof box and everything was built for the winter solstice, because this is when it happens. Now, if you are in Ireland, you can actually apply for it's a free lottery. Anyone can apply. I think you have to apply. They sort of do the draw at the end of September. And you can apply, and 20 lucky people will be picked from this lottery. And you can actually stand inside Newgrange as the solstice sun rises and fills the passageway. I just think, I mean, wouldn't that be amazing? One year I would love to be able to do that, but 20 people, thousands and thousands apply, 20 get picked. And you can stand in there as the winter sun rises and touch the light of it as it does so. I mean, honestly, how amazing is that? Now, the thing about this place is that, like I said, archaeologists only, it's not actually, wasn't uncovered like ages ago. It's still quite a modern find in respect of, if you look at archaeology and things. And as I said, they thought at first it was a tomb, but now they think it's more than a tomb, that it might have been in form almost of a temple. Now, what prehistoric farmers with nothing but stone would have needed a temple and tomb that big for? Who knows? I don't think we'll ever fully know. But how amazing is that? The other amazing thing about this is, as I said, it's not just the one. There are several smaller tombs and mounds, and you can actually see the solstice or celebrate the solstice at the Hill of Tara in County Meath, at Knockrow Passage in Kilkenny, Carrickeel in Sligo, and other areas. And one of the beautiful things, it's kind of kidney shaped. It looks round, but it's kind of not perfectly spherical. One of the other things about this place is the symbol of the Triskelion, which is the spiral, the 3 spiral, is actually carved on the stones. There are these giant stones that go both around Newgrange as well as at the entrance. They are huge, these stones, and they have the Triskelion actually carved into them. And it's one of the few, if not the only, ancient sites in Ireland where this symbol is carved into it. Now, people nowadays associate it with like the idea of triple. You know, if you think of Christianity, Father, Son, Holy Ghost, all that thing, or Mother, Maiden, Crone, whatever. We don't know what our ancient ancestors thought about this symbol, but it is carved all around and inside this particular tomb. And so every year, this is filmed, this event, so that even if you're not there, even if you're not lucky enough to be inside, you can actually watch it. So I am going to leave the 2025 filming of this event down below so that you can watch it. And maybe in 2026, you will put it on your calendar and you will get the chance to watch that and celebrate it. So that is also now part of my Yule traditions, is not only watching my own sunrise, but being able to witness that sunrise in Newgrange. Now, obviously, being Ireland, there's all sorts of mythology to do with Newgrange and the area. One of the ideas is that it is linked to the Dagda, who is the good god. He is part of the Tuatha De Danann. And if any of the Irish gods, now, again, please take this as it is meant, as a pinch of salt. But if any of the Irish gods were to be linked with the idea of Santa Claus, to me, it would be the Dagda. He is, as his name sounds, the good god. He is joyous. He is a warrior, because most Irish gods are. He is a warrior. He loves to eat. He loves to drink. He loves to feast. And yeah, he just gives me Santa Claus vibes. But it's thought to be either his tomb or the tomb of his sons. It is linked to the Tuatha De Danann, as many sacred ancient places in Ireland are. There is a lot in Ireland to do with the other world, going underneath, underground. It is also linked to the possibility. Now, again, stories vary. It will depend where you're from and who you talk to and all that kind of thing. There is never one specific story in Irish mythology. There is always several variations, and you just have to work out what variation sounds right to you and go with that. But there is a story that this may also be the place where Cuchulainn, one of the greatest Irish mythological heroes, was conceived as well. So, oh my gosh, I got orange all over me. It's fine. So there is mythology associated with this space as well. And give her orange eyes. What did I want to come in with there? I wanted to come in with something. So that is definitely something I think you guys should check out and look at. And I find it fascinating that ancient Irish, prehistoric Irish peoples would have built it completely out of stone. It is, when you see it, it's like looking at Stonehenge or the pyramids. It is something that you just think, how is that a possibility? This needs to dry, so let me get a piece of paper. I'm going to dry this off here because I was using my alcohol markers. I am wondering about coming in with the dots, but I don't think I want to. Right, there's still ink on there. Now, one of the other traditions, there's a few traditions to do with animals, birds, things like that. Let me heat this with my heat tool. Okay, that is like that, and now we need to bring it here. So in Ireland, there's lots of traditions around birds. And I have spoken in, I think it was in the 2024 Defember, about the idea of the wren boys in Ireland, or the Drolleen. The wren is a bird full of mythology in Ireland. So if you want to know more about that, I will link that video because I don't want to talk about the wren boys and the wren, the Drolleen here. Let's cut that a bit more. But another famous bird around the world at this time of year, and also plays a huge role in Irish mythology, is the robin. Now in Irish, the robin is pronounced spadog. It's not a pretty name for a pretty bird. That is how it's pronounced. And robin redbreast, we all know the robin, although it became really famous with associations with Christmas during the Victorian era. Now in Ireland, the robin is a sacred bird. There is mythology associated with it. Yeah, that's going to go there, which means I need to just put a line. And basically the spadog, as it is known, is seen as a spiritual messenger between our world and the other world. And that brings us on to how the robin got his red breast. Now, there are many, again, myths about how the robin got his or her his red breast. And again, it depends where you're coming from. There are Christian mythologies around it, but I'm not going to talk about those. Again, we're talking about the Wheel of the Year and the pagan ideas. And the mythology for the robin, for the pagan idea, is the idea that the robin got its red breast because there was a fairy, a good people, one of the fae, the she, who, there are many, again, accounts, might have been kicked out of fairyland or something like that. And the robin took pity on it and brought it into its nest and protected it. And in thanks for the robin doing this, its chest was painted red. Now, in the fairy culture, the she culture of Ireland and things, red is a colour of protection. And so the robin then became linked with the idea of protection, with the idea of being something sacred. To the point that there is a saying in Ireland, there is a belief that should you in any way, shape or form hurt a robin, kill a robin, disturb a robin's nest, you will be punished. Either with bad luck for the year, or one of the really common thoughts is that you will end up injured. Usually it relates to a lump on your hand. Now, when you think about it, many people work with their hands. That's what they do. And so the idea that you would not be able to use one of your hands, well, that'd be bad luck indeed, people. So many young boys and girls, but a lot of young boys, were warned by their parents, by their mother, do not disturb a robin, do not kill a robin, which is actually quite different to wrens, because wrens were hunted and killed on St. Stephen's Day. You do not harm a robin in any shape or form. And a robin is also a foreteller of weather. Again, there is a little bit of a, well, there used to be a bit of a joke that was that a robin could tell the weather better than the weather forecasters could. So depending where you see the robin, where it's sitting on a branch, under a branch, all these kind of things. Again, it will be area specific, but it can foretell snow, rain, storm. But the thing that the robin can really foretell is death. So it is said that if a robin flies into your home, it is foretelling the passing of someone in that home. A warning to the family. It's a bit like the banshee who comes and calls for only particular. Everyone thinks the banshee is just a foreteller of death. The banshee is not. First of all, it comes from fairy woman, the word. I'm getting off topic here, but it basically was linked to only specific old Irish families. It doesn't come for every Irish family or every person. It comes from descendants of specific Irish families, and it is a forebringer of wealth. It's warning the family. It is wailing. It is keening. That is what the banshee is doing. She is a keening woman who is foretelling sorrow coming to the household. And right, fingers crossed, guys. Really, really fingers crossed this is going to work. And so if a robin flies into your house, that is not good fortune at all, guys. At all. You do not want a robin flying into your home. Okay. I am happy with that. Do you see where this is going? Hopefully, as we pull it. Oh, my goodness. I am so exceedingly happy right now. Okay, we're going to come on and we're going to make a little tab, but the tab has to be smaller than this area because it needs to not get caught. Fingers crossed. And there's something we have to put on the bottom as well, whilst I remember. Where does my pen keep going to? So yes, the robin. Actually, we do it this way. the robin can foretell death. But other than that, its red breast is also linked to the sun. Now, one of the other tales of the robin is that it is the son of the wren. It's kind of linked in that way, father and son idea. Now, again, is it? No. But, you know, you can see our ancient ancestors going, there's two small birds that look quite similar. They might be related. Now, one of the things that we talk about at this time of year is the fight between the holly and the oak king. I've already spoke about this at the summer solstice, and the battle of the holly and the oak king there, the holly king wins because holly is linked with winter, so the oak king is linked with the summer or the light. So at the summer solstice, the nights are getting longer, so the holly king reigns. During winter, that battle happens again. So if, like my family, we have often enacted the battle of the holly and the oak king, there is another battle to be had, but this time the oak king wins. The holly king is slain, basically put to sleep, dormant, to await when it's time for winter to come back. And the oak king reigns, telling us once again that summer returns. And this is enacted with the holly and the wren. There is an idea that they battle each other, and as they battle, the robin wins and the wren doesn't. And then they would battle again and the wren would come back. It's this never-ending cycle. But I don't like to think of it like that. But yes, there is this idea. And also that idea comes from the idea of the red breast is the blood of the wren during the battle. So either way, the robin, the cute little bird that we all see, has all these different links to the solstice. The spadog has all these little links to the solstice, and it's a red breast. So now when you see a robin, you might look on it and think, even more. There is the old saying, again, coming from its link of protection or link to the idea of foretelling death. That old wonderful idea as well, linked to the other world, that when a robin appears, a loved one is near. That is something I was raised to believe. It is something I still believe. Also, again, I'm not a big bird expert, so I don't know, so correct me if I'm wrong. But from reading that I've done over the years, the robin was one of the few birds to still sing during winter, hence it being associated with winter. The rising of the sun, the robin being the sun, the red breast, all that kind of thing. It's all there. But yeah, when a robin appears, a loved one is near. And that is spadog. So far, in my stories, I've taught you 2 words for 2 Irish birds. Dralín for wren and spadog for robin. Now we need a little bit, and I don't know how I'm going to do it. Might just take this again. I'm just making this as I go, I know, guys, and you're probably like, Belle, what are you doing? You're not explaining it. No, I don't really know what I'm doing, so therefore I'm just attempting things and going with it. Yes. So the robin has been part of Irish winter mythology and celebrations for a long, long time. And yes, go check out what I said about the wren boys when I was talking about that for November 2024, because that is also a really strange, if fascinating, cultural phenomenon within Ireland as well. Not a nice one. Thankfully, it no longer is what it was. So there is that, thankfully. I need to make sure no glue goes on there. Right, I'm trying something. We're going to see if this works. So the Yule is all about return of the sun. It's about celebrating the fact that the worst of the winter is passing. The summer is coming back. Our bodies, our minds have rested. We've recreated those family bonds because our ancestors were all in tight quarters. We've recreated those, but we know that the summer, the spring, the time for work, the time for doing is returning. There is a much easier way to make this card, by the way, guys, in case you're watching me thinking, Belle, what are you doing? This looks super complicated. There is a much simpler way of doing it. I chose not to do it that way because why would I? You know, why would I? Now, other activities you can do this time of year. This is a great time to get creative, as always. This is a time for eating good food, so maybe trying a new recipe. Making things like wreaths, evergreen boughs, all that kind of thing that you can bring into your home. I need to make sure, this is what I need to make sure, that if this is folded over, that as I pull this out, these, are they going to catch on there? Yeah, I think they are. Brilliant. Okay. Ooh, I don't want to glue it down until I've made sure that that happens. That's my problem. Let's put this in, then let's glue this to our card. Yeah, making wreaths, making things realistically, because winter is a time of peace anyway. It'd be great if you can make your Christmas gifts, festive gifts, Yule gifts, whatever you celebrate. It's a great time to do all that. It's a great time to sit with a fun craft that you can learn and make potpourri or incense or any of those kind of things. Okay, right, I'm going to glue this down. Wish me luck. Wish me luck. This has taken me longer than it should have because I was busy talking. If you want to make sure that our little robin redbreasts and other birds that might still be wintering in your area, you want to make sure that they are okay. This is a great time. I often do this as well for you all. Is you do it through winter anyway, but I will often garland my tree with special food and things for the birds. I did try one year like popcorn and things like that for the birds. They weren't keen on it, but certainly you can make like peanut and things like that. Have your bird feeder close to hand. Oh my gosh, guys, wish me luck with this. It's a great time to make sure you are taking care of the birds in your area, in your garden. Right, let me clean my hands. I've got to put this in. Oh, fingers crossed. Yeah, I used to love to garland. I've spoken about the tree that I decorate for each season, and for Yule, come on, will you not go in? Wait a minute, hold on, it's so hard. But everything I saw said to glue it down before you put this in. So that is what I have done. Maybe these need to be trimmed a little bit more. Yeah, I will garland for the birds. I will make sure that there's things for them to take care of, so that they are taken care of during the winter months. Right, I'm going to try and get this in. There we go. Sorry, I had to do it off camera because I had to really look closely where it was. And I couldn't do that on camera because you didn't want to see my head in the way. Let's go down there. So yeah, take care of your birds, take care of the wildlife in your garden. Make things to hang on your trees. I love making like gingerbread star biscuits with the glass centre from the sweets and things. I love making things to hang on my festive tree. I love doing all of that. Now, realistically, I could just attach that to there. It would still do maybe what I want it to do. I could glue it down to there. It's meant to go, right guys, it's meant to kind of go like that so that it's over. Maybe this is too long. We are learning as we're going. We are learning as we're going. I've still got to put the tag on top. All this for the tag. But I saw this idea and I was like, I love it. I think it will work so well for the idea for you. Oh, cause myself stress. And then I had the idea, watched a few tutorials, and then I've left it weeks to actually do the idea. Right, I need to really make sure that is pressed down. So yeah, that's what I do with my tree. I fill it with all sorts of treats for the birds at this time of year. It's had everything on it. It's had lights, it's had eggs, it's had ribbons. And then for Yule, it has, right, fingers crossed, treats for the birds. Here we go. So this should, in theory, right, no, that one doesn't work, that side. It's too wide. Okay. Okay, right, well, let's redo that. That can get unstuck. Let's redo that. Okay, Tiff, I'm just going to have to say to you, don't pull it all the way out. Maybe if I do it to there, even though that's going to be tagged. Okay, let's do it to there, see if that will help. Because it means it won't come all the way out. We're learning as we're going. Welcome to Not a Tutorial by Belle. But Belle just following and trying to work something out. Okay, what I am going to do is I'm going to hold that on there. Just at the top. Now let's see. Does that still not work? Is it still too much? Is it still too wide? Okay, it is. It's still too wide. All right. Well, these were a nice idea, but I did it wrong. So that's okay. We're going to tear that off. Oh, and just tell Tiff, do not pull it all the way. How fun is that? From the darkness of the night, of the winter night, the sun does rise. Do not pull all the way open. All right, well, we tried something. That didn't work. That is okay. I'm just going to ink that because I still want those on there. I'm going to come on with the tabs now and make my tabs. That took far too long, didn't it, guys? Okay, we're going to do a simple bit on the back. I'm not going to overthink it on the back because I can't overthink it. I want holly everywhere, but that might be too much. I do have some green. I do have the rest of the, oh, look at that green, look at that sparkle. You gotta have a bit of sparkle. I know how Tiff loves her sparkle. Let's have some sparkle just for you, Tiff. Unless I do half the sparkle and the other half, the book, the music. I want the music. I want it to say about the woods. So that's what we're gonna do. Oh my gosh, that took me far too long. I can only apologise. I was trying to think and craft at the same time. So I'm sure I wasn't as engaging as I would have liked to be. But I still hope you've learnt something. And I still hope you will. Sorry, I'm holding this up to the light so that I can actually see where the words are. Up to the light of the window. You know, I highly encourage you to watch the Newgrange sunrise and go find out more about it. It is one of those sites that everyone kind of knows about the pyramids and everyone knows about Stonehenge and goes there. And yet there is this site older than both that is so tied to the solstice. It's like this beautiful kind of little hidden secret And I just love the fact that it's there. And to think about the ancient peoples who lived on the land, that they built it. And not just one, but many. I mean, the time, the effort it would have taken to do that. And for it then to link up so perfectly with the Yule sun. I mean, amazing. Now, there is the 12 days of Advent as well. And I know many pagans and Irish Celtic ones celebrate the idea of 12 days. So from Yule, you celebrate those 12 days. I don't exactly do that because I just celebrate the whole month really as festive time. So I don't really celebrate the idea of 12 days. And I don't know enough about why that is and its links to maybe other things. I don't know enough about that to really make that decision whether it's, you know, part of it or not. But I do know that's not a lot that I have read about certain things, but it is a fun idea, and we do have the 12 days anyway with the Advent. So they would begin at Yule and the 12 days from then. Now, what do I want on the back, guys? I have a couple of things. I think, realistically, only one of them is going to fit. I had this beautiful hair, but I have this. This is from an old WWF card, and doesn't that just look like the solstice sun? I want to trim that. Solstice sun arising. I want to cut some of this down because I want the sunlight, and I want to make this into a tuck. I think I want a bit less of the sunrise. We can kind of rip it a little bit. Yeah, I think I want it as a tuck, maybe. Do I know what I'm going to put in there yet? Of course not. I was too busy trying to work out what I was doing, which does mean we're going to see this, which means I'm going to come on with some paper down here too. Yes, so I don't know enough about that, but I know there are plenty of pagans and that who celebrate the idea of 12 days from Yule. So that's something you might be interested in too. I just really see this as my time to stop. My time spiritually to stop and think about the coming year and the year that's passed. And 2025 in particular, I needed that rest time after a year of ill health. And I needed time going into a big year. You would have seen if you watched my goal video that I am turning 50 this year. So I needed that time, or still need that time, we're not out of it yet, to rest up, to think, to reflect on a year that was both challenging, but also had a lot to be thankful for as well. And giving my body time to relax and just sit for a little while. And so if you do not follow a pagan path, one of the things that I hope you take from this video is that idea, is the idea of resting. Don't force yourself. The world is constantly telling us, rush, 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 must rush, can't rest, can't rest. There's always something to be done, something to be cleaned, something to be sorted, someone to be phoned, emailed, messaged, something to do with work, this, that, and the other. And we are made to feel guilty anyway, most of the time, if we choose to take time of rest and relaxation, because we live in a world which basically judges on the idea of, well, if you're not doing, are you successful? Are you being productive? And that is such a negative idea, because productivity can only happen when we are feeling at our best. And it cannot happen if we are exhausted because we are trying to keep up with a world that is not listening to the natural rhythms of nature. And so if any of you take advice from this, please do think about the idea of, even if it's just a day, think about the idea of resting, taking time to refill your cup and to feel like you're at your best again. I kind of want to bring this on here too. Yeah, I like that. Let's bring that on. That's what you need to do, guys. Take time to rest. Give yourself permission. In a world that doesn't really give us a lot of permission for things, give yourself permission to take some time to think. If we're always rushing, we can't make the best decisions for ourselves. And we soon feel like we always get behind. And that then makes us feel unhappy. And so take some time, even though it's now past Yule, still take a day to rest. If you can take more than a day, do that. But for most of us, that's not always an option. So I understand that. But if you can, take more time to rest. I'm going to come in with this too. I have Wink of Stella in gold. I kind of just want to represent the idea of the sun and stuff. I want to do that. I might bring in the gold shine. And I know many of you are always interested in the Irish kind of myths and things. So I highly recommend you watching the sunrise at Newgrange. And, you know, enjoying that. So I've got the gold. I also have the red. Let's bring in a little bit of red. Just in places, almost like the fire. And do something for your local birds. And maybe next time you see a robin, you will look at it differently. I hope you can see. That's the, can you see the glitter on there? It looks a wee bit messy. So I am going to come in like this. And if you want to know more about the wren boys, go and watch that other video about them. It's not the nicest celebration. Thankfully, in today's Ireland, it is not done that way anymore, thankfully. No wrens are now harmed. But they definitely used to be with the wren boys. Oh, look, we have the Yule log. I really need to add this somewhere because this reminds me so much of what we do. I wonder if I still don't want to cover up that wood. I could add it as a tag or something. And then the top of here, I need to put the word pull across there. So I'm going to take a little piece of paper and just write the word pull. Or I can just say it in the thing. Look at that. In the letter that I write to her. There is a much easier way of doing it, guys, but I will leave the tutorials that I watched 2 down below, in case you want to see how other people do it and not how I'm doing it. And I'm going to get some fabric for there. So you will see that I have added some ribbon. I actually added to pull rather than the tab because I thought it just looked better there. We're going to add some charms. I found and pulled out a load of charms. I'm going to do it in green. Yeah, I've got all sorts of different little bits and charms here. I think the first one needs to be the Triskelier. Then we need to have a sun, and it's got this little stone on it as well. That way there's that. I also wanted to add this feather. Now it's got blue on it, but it's what I had, so I'm going to add that. It's also got another Celtic symbol on it, and it's got a bell. So I was going to add the green man on there to sort of represent the idea of the holly and oak kings, but I'm not going to now. I'm just going to add these, because you gotta have some charms. Is that close? So we have our charms. Then on the back, I found a piece of paper that I had with Triskelier on it, and this Irish kind of digital image that I had in my stash. It's not of Newgrange necessarily, but it reminds me of that area. And we've got what looks like the sunrise. This is also a pocket, so I might put something in there. I'm going to do as I always do, guys. I will add things like recipes, prayers, whatever, off camera. So, you know, go and see Tiff's video for what I add to it. I also found 2 of my Celtic cards. We got Draleen, which is the wren. I didn't have one for Spadog for Robin, but we've got the wren, and we have holly as well. So I'm going to add those to here as well, because they are also linked to that. And I have a little Celtic symbol paper clip here that is going to attach these to the pocket, not to the front, because we do not want it interfering with the front. And I think that's it. Now, I spoke a lot. It was a bit all over the place. I apologise for that, but I was trying to do something complicated, as I said. I'll be adding a few more bits to the package, and like I said, I'll be writing maybe a recipe or something on the back of there. But I hope, anyway, you love the tag, Tiff. I hope you guys have been inspired to make one of these colour changing. I mean, I made it as a tag, like I said, and it's usually as a card. Why is that not going down? It was, and now it's not. Why is that? It will do. There we go. We'll lift it like that. We have our charms on here with the sun and everything. Oh, I meant to show you on the back of here. I actually found in my stash, I went through some of my books, and there was actually a little picture of Newgrange. Now, that is not a brilliant picture of Newgrange, because it doesn't look like much there. Believe me when I tell you, go look it up online and have a look at some other images and things. It's much more interesting than that makes it look. And we have Yule. That's my final tag in the series, guys. I know so many of you enjoyed this series, and thank you so much for watching. And yeah, just the support Tiff and I have been getting from it. Now, don't forget, the next part of the video is where I open Tiff's tag to me, and I'll just let you in on a little spoiler. Loved it! So now it's my favourite time in this video. I get to open Tiff's tag to me. And I'm just going to say, guys, if you've been watching the other tags that we've done, this is way bigger than a tag, Tiff. Feels like there's a book in here. This is actually so heavy as well. Yeah, I don't know what to expect. I've opened it on the end because you don't need to see me struggle with some scissors. But I don't know what to expect. So, what have you done, Tiff? Oh my goodness, more wrapping. A little snowflake. I don't have a snowflake stamp. Now I need one. This looks amazing. Oh my gosh, it really is like a Yule gift. I don't know what to do. Okay. I'm just going to have to cut this string. I don't want to, but it's twine. It feels like twine. Oh my goodness, guys. As of opening this, I obviously have not watched Tiff's video yet, so I don't know if she told you guys about this in the video too. Oh my gosh, it really is like a Yule gift. Oh my god, it really is like a Yule gift. Okay, firstly, all this brown paper. Brown paper packages. Alright, and I am loving, hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to move everything. I'm loving the robins. I've spoken about robins a lot. Does this have pomegranates on as well? I've never seen that. That's interesting. If that's pomegranates, that's normally linked to Samhain. I have a mated robin pair who live in my twisted hazel bush, and I see them so much at this time of year. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to open this first because I'm guessing this is the card that she always sends. Oh my gosh, everything's robin themed. And this feels handmade. This feels like one of those. Yes, it is. It's one of the ones you can plant. Oh, I love it. Okay, what has Tiff said? Hi, Belle. Your blessings to you and your family. Cannot believe this is the last tag swap in the series. I know. I've loved doing this for you, and thank you so much for reaching out and taking a chance on me. I'm so grateful you wanted to work with me, and I'm happy we've developed a wonderful friendship. Me too, Tiff. That is actually, I love the tags and the swap, but that's actually the thing I treasure most is the friendship we've developed now. Okay, you are allowed to open your present on camera. It's from 1978 or 73, one of the two, and was one of an entire collection I got that I'm struggling to use because I'm having issues breaking up the set. No worries, Tiff, I'll probably use it. So I figured if I send you one, the set is broken and you can use it. Yay! Hopefully you can use it for years. Well, it feels very heavy, so I'm guessing so. Onto your tag. I used a colour I know you don't often work with. Intriguing. But hopefully you'll like how I've done it, and I didn't do any hand stitching or my own drawing because I wasn't feeling that it would sit anywhere, and I didn't want to just put it in. I've kept it fairly simple but stuffed it full of joy, and by joy I mean sparkles. I'm getting so excited. I really hope you like it. I keep forgetting it wasn't December and kept going to use your own stuff in it, so I moved that stuff far away so I wouldn't accidentally have used it. I tried to leave a decent sized space for you to write on, or maybe add a Yule photo that you take, and I added a tag in that I made a couple of years ago and had in my own winter journal. Oh, I felt it suited your tag. Excited to see what you've made me. Have a wonderful Yule, a magical Christmas, and a happy and healthy new year. Lots of love, Tiff. Oh, I'm so excited. Firstly, I don't want to plant this bit because it's too cute, but I will plant the back. Okay. We're going to put the present to the side for now, even though I'm super excited, and I'm going to zoom you guys in. So we have this cute napkin, which I am definitely going to use. Oh my goodness. Tiff! We went for very different colorways on our tags, but firstly, I think it's the blue you're talking about. It's a shaker card. Oh, I love shaker cards. A green Yule. Oh, yes it does. Oh my gosh, sorry, I'm just taking everything in. Firstly, we have a gingerbread man. Yes. We have a beautiful bird and a moon and a pentacle and an owl and music and a star. You just stuff mine full of charms and I love it. Oh, it opens. There's our bat. Ah, hiding behind the holly. What's a ghost favourite meat? Oh my gosh, what would a ghost favourite meat be? I don't know. I'm going to think about that while I look at the back. Oh, look at that. There's the Yule log. There's glitter on the back of this too. It sparkles so much. I love the shaker tag. What's behind the shaker? That's a candle as well. I don't want to open this up. Oh my gosh, you've got a little reindeer. Where did you find that? That's amazing. So I'm going to cover that because I'm trying to think what's a ghost favourite. If you don't know, if you're new here, hello and welcome. Please do go back and watch all the other tags we've swapped. But one of the things I love about Christmas is really bad cracker jokes, and she's included one. So I thank you very much for that. Yule incantation. Love that. Kitchen witchery, another incantation. Sugar sweets. Sugar sweetness. Yes. Okay, I will look at all that. I'm going to cover it because I know it's down the bottom. I just don't know. What's a ghost's favourite? Is it meat? I don't know. Boo sausages. Embracing stillness and introspection. I like that. Oh, this is good. Yeah, I like, this is perfect. I would have spoken about this, I'm sure. Yeah, about being quiet at this time of year and really reflecting, setting intentions. Lovely little tarot spread there. And personal reflections. This is perfect, Tiff. And cover that up. We've got writing space there. Oh, I'm still covering it. I don't want to spoil it for myself. The snowman. Reflect on the year's special times and look ahead with positivity. Oh, if you guys have never watched The Snowman, you need to do it. You really do. You need to watch it. I love that tag. I'm guessing this is the one you might have made for yourself in your own journal. Okay, I can't work out what is a ghost's favourite meat. Bologna. In my defence, as someone who has not eaten meat for 35 years or more, I never ate bologna anyway, so I was never going to get that, but that works perfectly. Bologna, and it's got boo in it. What's a ghost's favourite meat? Okay, I kind of love that. It's just made me chuckle. Oh, little tag in there. Do you know what? It's just so pretty, Tiff. I love a shaker card. I love a shaker. And you've put a snowflake sticker on there. And all the glitter, the little bird. Oh, it's just so pretty. And yes, I don't work with blue a lot. But I think at this time of year with the snow and the ice, not in my part of the world, that blue works really well. And I really love this shade. Kind of an icy blue. Bologna. Sorry, I'm still laughing. I love my little bat there as well. I got a cracker joke. I got some holly. I got a bat. I got writing space. This would be perfect for a little Yule photo. Could probably add an extra flip, actually. I'm just wondering. I kind of want to put it in my journal, but I don't know. Sorry, I'm wondering where I'm going to put this because I kind of want to keep all my tags together that Tiff made me. I think I have an idea. But yeah, oh, I love it. I love this. I love this. I love this gingerbread man. Okay, guys, let's see what Tiff has sent me. And also, I absolutely love this wrapping paper. So, once I've opened this, I am going to be asking you where you got it from. Because I have not seen robins with what definitely look like pomegranate seeds. I mean, it works because pomegranates are linked to the darker half of the year and rejuvenation. They're linked to the story of Persephone and Hades. Why don't I just rip it? They're linked to all of that. So they're normally to do with Samhain and the passing. So it works. I'm trying to keep some of this. So you're just going to have to excuse me because I do want to keep a little bit to work with. There's some sort of encyclopedia. Oh, it is! It's Encyclopedia Britannica. Words. Belle. Oh, you've got a whole collection. Let's zoom you back out. Where do you keep them? These are huge. 30 volumes. Did you actually get 30? I mean, I can't wait to hear. Yeah, 1973 it says there. Oh, wow. Oh, it's got some colour images too. We've got S to T, I believe, in here. Yes. I was just looking because it says scythe up there, so I'm definitely going to use that. Sea cucumber. Oh my gosh, they are so weird, sea cucumbers. I remember always being in the sea and seeing them. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, they're so weird. The berries. Okay, I am going to have Yeah, I'm going to have some fun with this, Tiff. I'm a bit further along in my working with vintage stuff than you, Tiff, which I know because you really struggled to use it. I'm just going to use this. Use the pages. Oh, I'm so excited. Honestly, it's just beautiful between the wrapping and the brown paper and the snowflake and the robin theme carried throughout. Oh, it just, and thank you for the special extra. Yes, I'm going to use that. I love my tag. That glitter is catching my eyes so much, and it does make me think about like a frosted, snowy garden. And yeah, oh, I love it, and I love the joke. You're so funny. And just this bit, yes, it's so lovely, Tiff. And that wrapping paper I get to keep. Look, I managed to open most of it. So I get to keep the wrapping paper too and do something with that. Oh gosh, I just love this. Do you know what? This swap has brought me so much joy for so many reasons. And I know a lot of you have enjoyed these videos as we've been making them and talking about these festivals and things like that. And as always, I know not all of you follow a more pagan path, but there's so many bits of information that hopefully so many of you can take and just put in your everyday life. It's helped really reignite my love for the path that I walk. You know, really deep diving and remembering all these traditions that me and my family have done ever since my children were born, and getting to share that part with you guys, getting to share that little piece of me and you guys getting to know me a little bit better in that way. I have thoroughly enjoyed this tag swap. I have to be honest, when I reached out to Tiff in 2024 and was like, love to do a swap with you, what do you think? And we were thinking about things, and then I was like, well, we can do like a Wheel of the Year tag swap, and I didn't know, I had no clue in my head how this swap was going to go, or what I was going to do, or how I was going to blend making with the sort of sharing of the traditions. And also I didn't know how you guys would receive it. This is a crafting channel. These are types of crafting, but this is a different sort of thing that I was sharing with you guys. And you've just all been so enthusiastic and welcoming about it. And I've just got to know Tiff so well and develop, like we've said, just a lovely friendship, which has just been such a gift and a blessing. And so, yeah, I am really glad we did this, Tiff. I am really, really glad we did. And I have loved seeing what you make and your additions of the bats. I mean, so that's just, I've loved that. And I've loved you've tried new things and I've tried different things. And yeah, I've just, this has been a really good swap. So, well, I'm not going to keep rambling about it, but yes, what a wonderful way to end such a beautiful card. So many robins looking at me, which is just joyous. And yeah, at this time of the year when it is time to reflect, as I would have said, and it's time to really sit with how the year has gone and what you're going to do as you move forward to get ready for those plans in Imbolc. Again, if you haven't seen, go back to that video. Yeah, I think this is a perfect way to end, and it's probably why I'm really reflective in this final video. But if you have enjoyed this, do keep watching, because Tiff and I are going to do another swap that is also going to be themed around these kind of things. So that's all I want to say, because we haven't actually completely decided yet, and there will be a poll going up, and we would love your input on what direction we should take, because we have a few ideas, but we really need to, we'd love to hear from you guys before we make our final decisions. So I know lots of you've said you've enjoyed this tag swap and would love to see another swap between Tiff and I, so that is coming. And I really hope you guys enjoy what we have planned for next year once we finally decide and you give us your input. Anyway, guys, final tag swap of the year, final festival of the year, but as we say, the wheel is constantly turning. It is a circle, so Yule might be coming now, but I'm already starting to think forward to Imbolc. So thank you so much for joining Tiff and I. Please do go over to her channel to see her opening my tag to her, because I always add a few little bits that I don't do on camera, normally because I think of them off camera afterwards and I just want to add it. But yeah, do go over to Tiff's and show her plenty of support over there. And I will be back again soon with another video. But until next time, guys, wherever you are in the world, I hope you have a blessed Yule, a wonderful winter solstice, and just a great December. Yeah. And also having lots and lots of fun, crafty time. Bye for now.